Win, and for the first time since 2020, the Lakers are in the playoffs. We will all be chilling, stress-free during the play-in tournament. They are 1 win away from securing the 3 seed and having home court advantage for the first time since 2012 in the playoffs. But tonight is about Luka Doncic returning to Dallas for the first time, the place that he called home, the only place he thought he would ever play in the NBA, traded to the Lakers in February, an emotional return, a tearful tribute to Luka before the game. And how did he respond? With 14 in the first quarter, 17 in the second for 31 and a half, James. He ended up with 45 points. And what a scene there at the end with the crowd chanting for him, his teammates mobbing him. Pretty special night.
Yeah, I mean, look, no place like home. And it feels like Luka went back home to Dallas where he spent 7 years. And I'm kind of glad this is behind him now. I know that it was a big emotional trade. He played the game in Los Angeles against Dallas and then going home. It felt like they were presenting championship rings. But he was poised when the game started, and boy, he carried them completely. In the first half, and then came back after Dallas kind of made their comeback and then took over again and closed them out.
All right, there's LeBron James, who had an incredible second half. He ended up with 27 points. But Rob, Prez, I want to get you guys in on Luka Doncic and this return and just how he performed, especially in that first half. Rob, with everything going on, it just says a lot about that young man.
It says a lot about how he's able to control his emotions. You saw him hitting himself in the head, like, get it out. Let's just play a game. And for me, I was really impressed how he came out and controlled the game.
This one, I think, took the cake for the most emotional response ever. This really hit Luka hard. And then he went out and drilled him by getting close to 50. That was an incredible performance by him.
This one was so much different because he wasn't leaving in free agency after 9 years. This was him being traded at the prime. And, just right there, the team around him, the crowd chanting Luka Boombaye. They're doing the whole Muhammad Ali thing. I mean, that was awesome. Let's hear from J.J. Redick. He's speaking with Mike in the media.
JJ, I know you said before the game that the message was, kind of, we've got your back, Luka. But how impressed were you with how he played throughout the night and kind of what he was able to accomplish?
Let me start by saying the moment with the tribute video and him sitting by himself and getting to actually live that and live in the moment and allowing himself to be vulnerable and his teammates supporting. Some of his teammates got emotional. Some of the coaches got emotional. It was a beautiful moment. I thought the video was great, but I think just his ability to then go perform, lights turn on. He's teary-eyed still as we walk out on the court for the tip ball. To have the emotional resolve to then go put on that kind of performance, it's superhuman. And I think all his teammates know that too, because I think all his teammates can empathize with what he just went through over the last couple months. And maybe some anticipation, maybe some dread, but certainly a ton of emotions about tonight. And then he went and did that. It's big time. And, he led us. I thought LeBron in the second half, the amount of energy that he expended on the second night of a back-to-back on both ends of the court, teach tape stuff. He led our defense again. We challenged the guys at halftime. And had a 40-point second half. We had a small little blip there to start the fourth quarter. But our guys certainly had Luka's back, and he had his teammates back for sure.
And just to follow up on Luka, you as a former teammate, and then you spent years watching him. He's known to rise to big moments, I suppose it's fair to say, but to be able to do it on top of the emotional setting, is that kind of a different level?
Yeah, I mean, I thought he was going to get 50. I was disappointed.
So he let you down? Obviously, there was a lot of benefits probably for Luka moving on from this, having this, being able to put this behind him. But I'm curious, though, about what you feel like. You mentioned kind of his teammates being able to live that moment with him. When he came off the court, I don't know if you noticed it in the fourth, the embraces he got, particularly the one he got from LeBron as he walked off the court in the fourth quarter. Like, what can this do for your group as you guys are going to, you're a couple games away from like really getting tested in ways that, teams that are put together this quickly, haven't always done very well with?
It can bring you together. It can bring you closer. You never know. The NBA is a fickle thing. Greg and I were talking as that moment was happening, both kind of fighting back some emotions. And, Greg said to me, this is going to be awesome for our group to go through this with him and for him to go through this with them. Does that mean we're going to win an NBA championship or get to the conference? I don't know, but it was an awesome moment for everyone.
When he started rolling in the first quarter, hits the three in front of your guys' bench, tacked on a couple more threes that quarter. What was the feeling? Was there like a palpable kind of momentum? And did you feel in Luka at all an ease or any sort of comfort having gotten over the initial wave of what the night was going to be about and then getting into the basketball?
Yeah, I thought making some early shots, not getting off to a slow start, and then all of a sudden having to press later. It just he got into the rhythm early, and outside of that stretch in the second half where they were double teaming him, he never really lost that rhythm and just made the right decision and was able to score versus nearly every coverage.
To the team perspective, you've spoken about the goal was to make the playoffs outright, avoid the play-in. I know you guys still have more work to do, but you guaranteed that for yourselves. Your first time experiencing that as a coach, just how does it feel, and what you guys told the group from that standpoint post-game? If you're able to address it after the emotion.
We did. I mean, we there's a few things that we talked about as a group, but we were told we were in.
Oh, no, I was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think it's an accomplishment. Truthfully, it is. If you look at the Western Conference this year, it's an accomplishment to be in the playoffs. We want the third seed, and we have two more cracks to guarantee that spot. For me as a coach, I don't know. I'm thinking about the third seed, to be honest with you. So it's a cool moment to share when we found out, with the staff, but we want more.
JJ, after you had made that run to kind of reclaim control in the fourth quarter, that was that one crazy play. You seemed trying to stifle a smirk. What did you see? What was going on?
I saw the Harlem Globetrotters.
What was happening there?
I have no fucking idea. What is it? A whirling dervish or something? We actually made some sick plays. We had some crashes, got multiple cracks at it. It felt like on that play, you almost want to make a emphatic statement at the end of the play with some sort of dunk or three or behind the back pass, and it got out of control.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah. Okay. LeBron scored 13 of his 27 points in the fourth. Let's go inside the Laker locker room. He's with Allie.
Ron, can you just take us back to the moment, obviously, from the very beginning and just the emotions from the tribute video with Luka all the way to the end?
Super dope. Super happy to be a part of that moment. Obviously, you saw the emotions on Luka's face. It was great. That was an unbelievable moment. Something I probably never forget, to be a part of that moment. And the kid had 7 amazing seasons here. I mean, he was from a kid to a man, and for all those moments, just it's all come together today, and just it's pretty cool.
I just saw him tell Lisa Salters that after he watched the tribute video, he thought to himself, "There's no way I could play this game." From that emotion to delivering the performance he did.
He did that. You can call that an out-of-body experience then, because he was locked in from start to finish.
You get to play with this guy. The playoffs starting in a week or so. What does having Luka Doncic on your team mean for the Lakers' possibilities this postseason?
I mean, he's battle tested. He's been in big moments. He's played in big moments throughout his whole career. Literally less than a year removed from the NBA Finals, so he knows what to expect, and that's great to have. That going into the postseason when you have guys that's been battle tested, and he's special with it. So that's always a good feeling.
Was this like a battle-tested moment for the entire group, though, to come in here, win it, have him feel that support? You guys were all chanting Luka on the bench when he checked out.
No, for sure. I mean, that was our only concern, is for us to support him, and be there for him in whatever fashion or whatever way we could be throughout the whole entire game. So that was our only motto, our only motive, our only thought process. Everything was to make sure that we was there for him in any way, shape, or form.
From a team perspective, you guys did clinch a playoff spot with tonight's victory. It's been a while since you guys got to the postseason without the play-in tournament. How important is that for this group specifically, especially with all you guys have been through this season, physically and mentally?
It's very important. You get that week off. Being a part of the play-in, I think the last couple of years, is just, anything can happen. So for us to know that we top 6, I mean, in the format that it is right now, anytime you get some rest, I speak for myself. Anytime I can get a week off from not playing ball, I'll take it.
LeBron's emotions of Luka, of course, would overshadow everything. This was your first game against AD, who was a teammate of yours for a long time. What was that like for you to go against him?
Different. Obviously we had our own emotions built into it. So it was just different. I think that's the first time we played together since 19, I believe. When he was in New Orleans. It was my second year. Well, I don't know. I've been here for a minute now, but just different, man. And it's definitely I ain't got comfortable yet with him being on the other side, for sure.
We walked by the locker room. We heard a lot of celebration. What was the celebration like when Luka came back in the locker room after this performance tonight?
Like I just said, we've been here for him in whatever shape, any capacity we could be tonight. And it started from the moment we all walked into this arena tonight to the moment he walked into the locker room. So we're just happy to be a part of his journey.
What was the moment with you, Luka, and I believe Austin on his putback dunk?
Austin's putback? That was crazy. That was crazy for sure. We love that. Hey.
Speaking of crazy plays, can you take us through the Harlem Globetrotter, whatever that was?
I don't know. I have no idea what the hell that was. But it started with a behind-the-back pass to Rui that was out, and Rui saved it to me. Then I tried to throw it to AR, and AR took a 3. I saw the shot clock going down, so I was hoping I could just flip it up and hit the rim and air ball. And thank goodness the game. Just get me out of the game. I'm doing too much. Get me out of the game.
Little big picture. You have an extensive relationship with AD. His first Olympics, he's playing with pretty much all future Hall of Famers. What do you think that moment did for him and that experience did for him?
I think it just set the tone for his career. To be around all of us in 12, and for him to have that moment fresh out from player of the year in the college, national champion, doing what he did, and then be able to practice with us every day, ride the buses, ride the planes with us every day. When we was blowing teams out, he got his moments in the game. I think it's just, I think it was the perfect send off into his career and why he is who he is today. Part of it, I think he learned so much from all of us, and that's why he's top 75 all time and Hall of Famer, champion. The accolades is out of this world. So he's a special talent and a better person. Appreciate it.
Luka, how did you go from the emotions of the video and the fans and the reception and everything to then playing the way that you played?
Good question. I already know. Like I said, post-game interview, after that video, I was like, there's no way I'm playing this game, It was so many emotions, and, I just went out there and just played basketball.
When you checked out, or there's a timeout, I guess, before you checked out, you had 45 points, come to the bench. Some of the fans in the arena are chanting Luka, and your Laker teammates are jumping up and down and chanting it too. What was that moment like for you, and how do you think this was an eventful day for the Lakers as a team and you being a part of them?
Big time, because they all had my back. That's what we talked about before the game, and everybody had my back, from coaches to players. And, we're trying to build something special here, and that was really, really, really nice to see.
I know we talked about this last night a little bit. You said, you knew it was going to be an emotional night, but you weren't fully sure what to expect. I guess when you woke up this morning, even got to the arena, more so even pregame, what were you feeling as you walk through this arena for the first time in a while, as you see these faces? What were you feeling in those moments specifically?
Well, it was a little bit of both, happy and angry, but, it's nice to see some familiar faces here. I spent a lot of times with them. But like you say, it was a lot of emotions. When I woke up, I was tired. I didn't sleep much. I was excited about this game, and, I really appreciate the fans, the way they reacted to me.
Luka, what was the exhale like after? The exhale, was there a sigh of relief or exhaustion from you after tonight to be able to put this back?
I'm tired. But I'm happy. I'm happy it's over. Now I can get some sleep finally. But like I said, it was an amazing experience. Like I said, the fans, the way they accepted me, cheered for me, it was just unbelievable.
Luka, you had that moment after you checked out where you got a standing ovation from the crowd, you got a standing ovation from the bench, and then you sat down and you were surrounded by everyone standing. What was going through your head there when you kind of sat by yourself for 30 seconds?
Honestly, I don't really know. I wasn't even thinking. I was just, happy. I wasn't really thinking. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say, because I wasn't really thinking. I was just saying there, it's over, we won, and I had a great time.
Luka, Dave alluded to this a little bit, but not just tonight's win, but beating OKC in the way that you did, hanging in the second game. What kind of collective confidence does this give you guys? As you still need one win to secure the 3 seed, but what confidence does it give you as you approach the playoffs?
I mean, first was a big time that we clinched playoff spot. It's a big time. You don't want to play in. You get some rest. But obviously we won the 3rd seed, and we're gonna go after it for sure.
Luka, if you can explain in Spanish, si nos puedes hablar en español un poco qué pasaba por tu cabeza cuando has estado viendo el vídeo, cuando te has emocionado, y bueno, un poco si este partido, quizás ya que haya pasado, es un poco una liberación para ti, para ya centrarte en lo importante.
Sí, bueno, ha pasado muchas cosas por mi cabeza. Creo que muchas emociones, he vivido momentos increíbles aquí. Vine aquí con 18 años, no sabía lo que esperar. Entonces me hiciera como una casa aquí, mi segunda casa. Y bueno, han sido muchas emociones. Y bueno, era un partido que siempre lo veía adelante y por fin se ha acabado. Y ahora hay que seguir adelante.
Sí, es una liberación.
Sí.
Luka, specifically, during that pregame video, what were some of the moments that made you most emotional? Was there anything in particular that really stuck out to you as you kind of looked back at sort of, your basketball career in America kind of compressed into 2 minutes?
I mean, all of it for sure, but I'll probably say that the shot in the finals of the conference finals, we were always the underdog in every series. So the way we came together and played together, it was just another level, and everybody was locked in, and I would say that was the moment when I remember last year.
Luka, there was a lot of moments there with your former teammates. You had exchanges, you had embraces. What was that like for you personally, just given everything you just mentioned? You've been through with them, and then I saw you had a moment there with AD at the end. And What can you share about that conversation?
Yeah, I mean, those are, like I say, those are my brothers. I know we're not on the same team now, but I always have contact with them. We went through wars together, and it was just like it was nice to see everybody. In the end, with AD, we got traded for each other. So from now on, everybody gonna compare us to. But I think he's an amazing player, and I think he's gonna do really good in Dallas.
Luka, you spoke back in February about how it would take time for closure. You said after this game on the broadcast, it's time to move on. Do you feel like you have closure?
It's a hard question. I mean, for sure it's a little bit more, talking about closure sometimes hard because, like I said, I spend a lot of time here, great moments. But it's, like I say, it's getting more and more, and I got to focus on different things now.
Last one right there. And yep, stripes. Here. Yep.
Luka, ¿qué tal?
That,
Buenas noches. ¿Cómo se describe una jornada como esta y qué mensaje le mandarías a los aficionados de los Mavs que te extrañan demasiado y que no superan intercambios? Gracias.
Bueno, lo primero, les echo de menos yo también muchísimo. Como he dicho, he pasado mucho tiempo con ellos, me han aceptado de una manera increíble. Y bueno, lo que he vivido hoy, no hay mucha gente que pueda decir que ha vivido eso. Y estoy muy agradecido por poder estar aquí 6 años.
Thanks, Luka.
Thank you.
Let's roll.
Jason, when Luka gets it going like that, how difficult it is to slow him down?
Very difficult. He got it going. He made the layups. He made the threes. And so whenever he gets going like that, it's tough. You try to take the others away. But he was really good tonight.
What did you think of the emotions of the night, especially starting off with the tribute video? I'm sure you look down there and see Luka crying, you see or hear the fans. What did you think of just the emotion?
It was incredible. It was the fans were great. The tribute was great. Luka's performance was great. It was great. That's who Luka is. I've said that as when he was with the Mavs. He's one of the best players in the world, and he displayed that again tonight.
Does this kind of performance make you regret the organization's decision to give him up?
No, I have a job to do, and that's to coach the players that are in that locker room. We've gone through the groceries, right? So the guys in that locker room, I got to put them in a better position to win, and I just didn't do that tonight. We're getting healthy. We're getting off a minute restriction. And so we have 2 games left to get things going in the right direction before we play Sacramento. And so that's all we're worried about, understanding all the emotions and all the attention on this game. This game is over. There's nothing we can do. He's not coming back as a Mav. He's with the Lakers. And so we have to move forward, and that's what we've done.
How does the fan base just move forward after this?
You would have to ask them. I mean, that's, I'm not the one cheering or booing. And so I think time and winning. I think that's what it comes down to. And the Mavs are used to winning here of late. And this isn't a dig at anybody, but we've only won 1 championship as a Maverick. And so understand that's the next goal is to win number 2 and with the guys in that locker room. And so that's what we have to do. We got to keep working and get ready for the next game.
You guys had to leave there early in the fourth quarter. Then LeBron kind of took over a little bit. What did he do to turn the tables in there?
Yeah, he did the same thing in L.A. We thought we were back in the game, and I said we took the lead, and then all of a sudden he appears. And so when you focus so much on Luka, he took advantage of it, and he knows how to do that. And he's played this game for a couple years, and so he understands when to go, and he went at the right time, and there was nothing that we could do.
You've obviously been on both sides of Luka being in that sort of a groove now. How do you kind of decide how much you want to commit to getting the ball out of his hands, versus risking him going for 28 or 30, I guess 31 and a half?
Yeah, I think there's two ways to look at it. We're in the game, and he was going off. Like, we're right there. Actually, Dwayne just brought it up. We took the lead with the great performance. So it's a team game, you know. Just understand, like, we're gonna always look at the stars and point them out, but we put ourselves at home against a hot team, and we just couldn't execute offensively, and then we couldn't get stops on the other end, and that's just something that we have to go back and we'll look at as we get healthy and guys start to play more minutes and get used to each other. We're not that far off. With all the injuries and everything that we've been through, we gave a very good team a fight and just came up short.
How did tonight compare to the idea you had maybe coming in atmosphere-wise versus pregame into the first tip? How did that compare to maybe what you thought it would be in your head?
What did I think? I knew it was going to be an emotional night. But when you try to take the emotion out and just focus on the game. And that's what, I thought the group in that locker room did a really good job, you know, of being down at half. We're in the ball game. We take the lead. And we just got to clean up a couple things on the offense and defensive end. And maybe it's a different story, but it's a great lesson learned for a group that's new, that's going into a play-in situation to be able to go through and understand what it takes to win.
Can you take us through kind of the emotions of watching Luka, watch the video and all of that's going on in the court, and kind of what you guys were trying to get across for him and to kind of get us back as the opening tip came?
To be honest with you, I didn't want to look at him because I knew he was going to be emotional, as anybody was. I was watching the video basically, you know, the sideline over by Bron, and I was getting, you know, goosebumps, emotional, and I knew if I looked at him it would be more, so I kind of just kept my eyes up, and I think everybody had the same reaction. But for him to go out and have a performance like that, you know, you can tell with, you know, how the stadium reacted, how much he meant to, you know, this community, to this team, and I'm just happy he's on our team now.
So what does it say, kind of in the time that you've gotten to know him now, that he's able to go through that, the emotions of it, and then go out and, you know, JD described him as a killer, like drop 45, and kind of what kind of confidence does that give you guys moving forward?
We know we got somebody that can go win us a game on any day. Like JJ said, he's a killer. Like, I expected this from him tonight, to be honest with you. You know, that's just who he's been since he's been in the league. Anytime he gets challenged, he responds in a positive way and just continues to get better. And it's, you know, it's really just a beautiful thing to see. If you enjoy basketball, to see somebody dominate the game like he does offensively is really, it's a beautiful thing.
You guys clinched a playoff berth tonight. No play-in tournament this year. You could still get third with another win. Knowing that you have that and Luka Doncic on your team, like, what's kind of the overall team confidence level heading into the postseason right now?
High, very high. We really believe in what we got here. You know, with the way we went and performed the first game against, you know, the best team in the NBA, you know, just shows what we can do. And then even that second game, it's just you know, a back and forth game, a really good game until the Luka ejection, and then it kind of just, you know, took the air out of us, and we didn't respond in the right way. But, you know, with the talent that we have, we obviously have two guys, and Bron and Luka, that, you know, can dominate the game in so many ways. So, you know, if I was a coach, you know, it would be very tough to, you know, prepare for them too. And then with the supporting cast that we have, you know, we got guys that, you know, do the dirty work, shoot the ball extremely well, and then, yeah, it's just we got a good overall team.
Was it a hard thing for you to do, to take so much spotlight from Luka on your putback dunk?
I was just surprised myself, to be honest with you. I think if you were watching, anybody could tell with my reaction. His reaction to Bron's reaction was about as clear as mine as the shock was, but stole the moment for a second, then he dominated the game.